Really this quick. Hello. So, welcome to my little chat with Nick and Tom from Ultravisual Films. And we are just going to ask some quick questions about how Ultravisual Films has taken on Darius by Guerrilla Metropolitana. Yeah, how did you guys end up meeting Guerrilla?
Hmm. I believe I saw some advertisement on social media. I believe it could be on his social media profile actually. And
Facebook,
I
probably.
just, yeah, possibly, yeah. And I just I read the term meta cinema, and that's what turned me on actually, because being a horror fan myself, the same goes for Thomas, of course. I was just interested in what meta cinema is actually. And then I believe because Thomas is always doing uh, is always writing all the people we work together.
Communication, yeah.
He's,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm the scary seller child, and he's the one like talking to people.
He's
And I
sitting in
just
his,
said
yeah,
like,
technical technical guy, and I have to do
yeah,
Oh,
the, the bad work with
yeah,
the
exactly.
customers.
yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
said Thomas, there is a movie called Darius, and I was intrigued in a injury. I was uh I was always what the fuck intrigued.
Intrigued. Yeah.
Intrigued.
Really, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
intrigued. Now we have it. I was intrigued by the title as well, because like Darius is a name, obviously, but it's like misspelled with two S.
Mm.
And so I said like, Thomas, please contact somebody of Darius. I won't do it. And ask if we can have a screener actually. And that was our introduction to Guerrilla.
Wow. That's
Uh,
incredible.
at first, he had some people working for him doing the
Yeah.
promotion things, and these were, yeah, I had contact with one of the girls doing the promotion, and she sent me the screener. And 2 days or one day after she sent the screener, she wrote to me and said, um, the director wants to know more about us and wants to learn us known. He this was She said, this is not very common. He never do it it's normally, but it seems he has checked you out, and
Yep.
he at the same point of time, somebody else was also asking for it, but he was directly um, denying the screener. So he knew more than we
Ah,
already. He trusted full in us. So yeah,
that's
it was great.
incredible. Yeah, because well, the movie's a bit bonkers, isn't it? What did you think? It's a bit over the top, lovely, beautiful, artistic, crazy, all at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
It's
exactly,
like
exactly.
being
yeah.
on
But
drugs. It's really,
It's a trip. Yeah, definitely.
you,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
cannot describe with words. It's very difficult to describe.
It is.
And
It is. It is. It took me a while to review it actually because it
believe.
just it flew around in my mind for about 3 days after watching this, and I've actually don't think I've had a movie actually affect me like that before. So
Mhm.
yeah, well, Gorilla actually, because I run a Facebook group called Horror Central, which you probably know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he jumped into, he kept wanting to post Darius on my site, and I'm like, no, no, because it's all BDSM. He's dressed up in his, you know what he's like, and and I was like, no, decline, 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 decline. And then he just was relentless. So I was just like, okay, I'll watch it. And I was like, oh my God, what? What? There's a
Mhm.
film like this actually being made, really? Is this not a snuff film? Are they still alive? So, wow. So it's brilliant. But I just wanted to ask you, what made you decide to distribute? It's such a controversial and extremely polarizing film, and I know you guys, your company is it focuses mostly on extreme horror.
Mhm.
Is that about right? So
Yeah.
so what made you decide that this was the one you wanted to distribute?
I mean, it's basically my first thoughts were it's just weird. Basically, in the beginning, I didn't even knew if I like it or not
Yeah.
actually, but I just knew it's something special. And I looked at it, and movies like Begotten, I Never Left the White Room, Subconscious Cruelty came to my mind actually. Also Pink Flamingos, stuff like that, you know. It gave me
Oh,
like the feeling of something weird I didn't even understand in the beginning actually. And it struck a nerve with me actually. It pressed like some triggers
yeah,
in me, I believe, because it stuck to my head actually, which rarely any movies can do anymore because I've just seen too many.
yeah,
And I would say it was something special. I felt it was Darius is something special, and of course, people will love it, and more people will hate it. It's obvious. Even Guerrilla also says the same. But I just
There is
felt it's
no in
something.
between. It will either
no in
love
Yeah,
or
between.
hate. But yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
But I just realized it's something special. Also, I saw like all the references to like German expressionism, to 70s cinema, and then
yes,
later when Guerrilla and we talked, he like mentioned like all the classic directors we all love and enjoy, and I just knew that yeah, the way Darius was made, it came from the right place,
yeah, yeah.
and that's why we choose the movie, not because it's commercially
No,
it's not a commercial movie, and also it's not a splatter film because you know even the most extreme splatter films have an audience. It's no problem selling
yeah,
fake snuff films and stuff like that because like people they just like want to have like splatter and gore, and even Darius is pretty violent.
yeah,
It's not a splatter movie, so even within the subgenre it's hard to sell, but money wasn't the
yes,
reason to release it.
exactly.
yes, because it's in a category of its own, isn't it? It's
But getting rich was never the reason to make all our labels.
No.
So because
yeah,
yes,
no, I really do think in the future it's going to be a cult classic. Yeah, definitely. You know, along the lines of like Clockwork Orange or something. You know, a pure classic sort of thing. But
Yeah.
um, so where do you see Darius in today's space of, you know, marketing and culture and all that sort of stuff? Do you think it's got a space somewhere in the world, the universe?
There is
definitely.
yeah, I mean there
Yeah,
is a market for everything, I mean
Yeah,
basically, but for Darius, I mean in Germany we have like a very good collectors market actually. A lot of people are buying like outsider cinema, underground movies and stuff like that, so it's just a matter of time until like
yeah,
Darius finds its audience. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, it's hard to market Darius. It's hard to recommend it to anyone because you can recommend it to everybody and nobody actually.
damn
But I
right.
will think
we
that
think important is that you don't play with wrong, yeah,
promises.
Yeah,
promises. Yeah, don't promise the audience that it is something else. You have it is like it
yeah,
is. You have to say it's not for everybody,
yeah.
but we cannot say if it's
Yes,
who will love it, who will not love it. It's it's a matter of trying.
yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, because
Yeah,
Those
it's
people who are open to, yeah, there are only a few, maybe not even three directors um, who are in this same range but play with other triggers.
yes,
Who likes these movies will definitely also take a look at Darius.
yeah.
yeah, and
And
also it's like yeah.
no, no, carry on, Karen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Also, I know if a movie is good and is artistic, and Darius is both of it. Actually, it's outstanding.
Yeah.
I know it's just like I have a certain trust that like well-made movies will find its audience,
Yeah.
and this goes for Darius. The
Mm.
thing is just like we try to, as Thomas said, not to make like false advertisement. I mean, I know on social media you have to be like the one with the biggest balls, actually, like to present yourself.
Yep.
But I'm not a big fan in general, not
Yep.
just for Darius. I'm not a big fan of always writing, this is the most extreme title and stuff like that. It will just like spread false expectations,
That's
actually,
right.
because
Mhm.
what is extreme is different for certain people. I mean, Thomas and I have seen basically everything. I have seen like from even mixtapes and fake snuff stuff, but still, like I would even say my most extreme movies were movies that were shown in the cinema that I would consider more extreme than like some underground
That
stuff.
stay in your head for a
Yes.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Yes.
very individual what people consider extreme, and that's why Thomas and I always shy
Like
away from like,
Martyrs, for example, one of our dearest movies, Nick and mine.
yeah, Angel's Melancholy.
Haven't
Yeah,
watched it yet.
absolutely.
Is that the French one? Is that the French one? Martyrs?
The French one by
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pascal
the
Augier.
French one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't watched it yet, but I've got it on my to-do list.
you have to watch it
Yeah, I will.
immediately.
Okay, I will. As soon as I get off here, I will.
Yeah.
Trust me, I will. So the other thing I wanted to know is, okay, so you've worked with Guerrilla Metropolitana, obviously. What do you think of him as a filmmaker? Like, he's very polarizing. In terms of, since you've worked with probably a lot of people, and you've seen a lot of filmmakers maybe making movies and stuff like that. So basically what I'm asking is, well, what do you find that's polarizing about this filmmaker, Guerrilla Metropolitana? What makes him different than, say, other filmmakers?
He
He's
knows
so
exactly what he
brutal
doesn't want.
honest.
Brutal honest.
Yeah, the brutal honesty, and that he knows exactly what he doesn't want. He has
His
a
vision.
very clear vision, exactly, and he will not hold back, and he will not shy back in telling everybody if he doesn't like something. And Thomas and I are very similar. We are people that are not as extreme in our honesty as Guerrilla.
Yeah.
But I like it if somebody is upfront and will like
We are very open also.
his truth in your face, actually.
He doesn't give a shit, does he? He just doesn't.
No, not at all.
No, which is actually quite refreshing. I've found, because there's a lot of imposers, imposters online and stuff like that. But what you get with him is pretty much it. You see, you get what you get, and there's no rubbish. There's no bullshit.
We were lucky being Germans because he loves the German cinema from 1920s,
yes.
30s, 70s. So we were lucky being under the the honored folks of the Germans who were good filmmakers.
Oh, absolutely, some of the best. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
he even hates his let's say his own roots from Italy, and so the film.
I know. Yeah. Well, I don't think
hypocrites
Darius...
and everything. He hates it.
Yes, I know. I'm not too sure how well received Darius would have been in the Italian market anyway. There's too much competition, high echelon competition, I suppose. Yeah. I'm not too sure. They might have thought it's a bit bizarre and all that sort of stuff, but so he's obviously known for being a wild animal and openly anti-political correctness. And what does he say? He's intelligent. He's racially intelligent. No, he's
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
racist against unintelligent people. So
He said, "What is he? He's a racist."
intellectual racist.
Yeah,
Intellectual
exactly,
That's
something
it.
like
racist
this. Yeah,
filmmaker. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Which is, I think he might have coined that term all by himself, and it makes sense actually. I have to say, I've met a
yeah.
few drongos in my life, so he's just one out of the box. But his film basically, this one, Darius, exposes sexuality, nudity, and perversion in ways that are hardly seen actually in today's cinema. Do you care that people might be offended?
No,
No.
Our
because
audience not. Our
no.
definitely not. No, we
Yeah.
we have definitely stronger
Yeah.
stuff, harder stuff.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, at
Yes.
least in terms of explicit stuff,
Yeah,
Darius is
yeah,
like
yeah.
very extreme in its undertones,
Yeah.
and if you don't pay attention, you will miss
Absolutely.
You'll
everything.
miss.
If you watch this movie on your cell phone or like with
Yeah.
half an eye,
Yeah.
you will just think like, oh, it's not extreme. But you have to listen. You have to watch. You have to listen, and you have to
Yes.
Maybe
like
watch twice.
Yes, yes. The whole entire
exactly,
package, actually, from beginning to end, has to be watched quite vigilantly, actually. Otherwise, you will miss the subliminal messagings.
It's
And
nothing
yeah,
hearing a podcast and watching the movie. This is not the way it is meant to be watched.
no, no,
Definitely not.
exactly,
no, absolutely not.
exactly. And
So,
so
so you're not worried about any backlashes and controversy or anything like that? No,
nothing.
no.
No,
I
this is
mean,
why we have this label. We want to give a platform to these movies, to these special
yeah.
and unique movies.
Yeah.
This was our intention. These
And
movies would
actually,
fall away under
yeah,
if nobody cares of them.
exactly. And I just don't care about controversy. I mean, if something is fictional, I
Yeah.
film whatever you want. I really don't care.
That's
And
what I think
I even
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, the if you want to have a safe space, leave the horror scene.
Exactly.
That's what I think.
Oh,
It's the same goes for like black metal, for example. If you want to feel safe, don't go near it.
yeah,
Period.
yeah, yeah.
And I don't want to see like trigger warnings in front of something. It's just like
This is why we always hated this German censorship culture. We are all grown-ups and responsible for everything. So
Yes.
we can elect, we can do it, can get into prison for anything. But the government they say to us, no, we censor your movie because of the youth protection. No, I'm a grown-up. I want to decide by myself what I watch and what not.
yeah.
That's right.
If on the other hand, I'm fully responsible for all my acting.
Yeah.
So uh,
Yeah, that makes sense. And
yeah.
really, at the
And
end of
we
the
got
day,
another movie
yeah,
having its world premiere now, which is maybe from the explicitity or even from the whole undertones, maybe not as strong, but this one has a very personal story to tell. I think this is even yeah, and the director has 5 minutes before the movie telling this the connections why it is so personal. And I think this is something which is even very extreme. Yeah, if you see something or not, it doesn't matter. But if you have the personal connection, then it's even more extreme for me. For example, if you see something
Yeah.
that somebody has gone through.
And the
So
same goes for Darius, because like when Thomas and I started talking to Guerrilla, and he told us more because as you also know him, he's very honest.
yeah,
When he told us some things about his life
yeah,
or the personal things he incorporated into Darius, the movie made even more sense. And as always, it gets way more. It got way more impact
yeah,
because you can relate to what Guerrilla was saying and what he tried to display.
yeah,
And that's why we, for our release, we decided to like we have a booklet with an interview with Guerrilla, and we also have like Guerrilla talking about him for 20 minutes about his understanding of being a filmmaker, of being himself. Because
Wow.
Thomas and I realized after like the first call we had that like the things that he needs that he wants to say, they need to be put on the physical disc as well,
Yes.
because it's
People
like
need to know the need
connected.
to
Yeah,
to get the connection. Then it's more understandable even. Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
And he
also
made a
since like
featurette. Yeah.
exactly, and since like his movies or his films seem to me to be like a reflection of his mind, of
Yeah, me
his,
too.
you know,
Yeah.
of the way he thinks. And that's
Many
why I think that
directors
like,
fight their inner demons with
Yes.
yeah,
making movies. Yeah.
Yes,
and
that
that's
is
why I
damn
think
right.
that, yeah, and that's why I think that like the thoughts he had, like the explanations he was able to give, that like it's important to not only have Darius on the physical release, but to also have like Guerrilla on the physical release as well,
Oh,
because it
absolutely.
sticks together. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. That's brilliant. Yeah, no, that's going to work very well. So I'm in the middle of writing his biography, and
Mm.
yeah, his story is very personal, very intimate. It's a little bit sad, and you can also
Mm.
see it's giving a real good description of what this filmmaker's about, and why he's so polarizing and all that sort of stuff, which is very interesting. And it's been a journey, I can tell you that. So yeah, getting back to Darius, so there's a lot of intricate themes running through. We've got cannibalism, uh, incest, all that sort of stuff. How did you feel about those? Like, I suppose it doesn't really matter because you've already taken it on board. But yeah, those elements. How did you feel watching them? Like triggering wise. I guess from a male point of view is what I'm wanting to know, because I have my own interpretations as a female, but as a male, what did you think about
Mhm.
the themes?
I think there's a difference between the female and the male point of view, you know, because like of course as a male you are basically more the gender who is able in like being violent, you know.
Yeah,
So I think that for a lot of, I would say, I think for a lot of extreme films in which male people are the perpetrators,
yep,
I have a theory that like the male audience mostly chooses their side,
yeah,
and maybe I wouldn't say that they understand like the perpetrators
Mm.
better, but I think you see it like from their side, and you don't see it like from
yes.
the victim side as well. What would you say?
Yes, I think you're damn right. Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
from a female's point of view, I'm a little different because I love
Mhm.
extreme gore, horror. I have
Yeah.
for forever. The gorier, the better, whatever, so long as there's a storyline. And
Mm.
the thing about Darius is there's a storyline which gets a bit mixed up, I guess, and it turns very diabolical. But yeah, are you quite happy to have Darius on your catalog?
Of course.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, that's yeah,
This is why we gave Darius the number one in our newest way of releasing movies. Darius will be our first professionally replicated Blu-ray.
wow.
Darius will get special packing with a big textbook booklet with many content, extra content. This
Yeah,
is what we always have, but it will be the first movie which will be released in media books, which is a big step for us, which is also much more expensive,
yeah,
but it will be totally worth it.
yeah, yeah. I think
So
it will be too.
it will be always in your heads because it's the number one of our new packaging line.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
a new level we now enter. you know, and we
Yeah.
ended with Darius.
I'm so glad you guys found each other. Honestly, I mean, this movie deserves so much, and it's just,
Mhm.
it's hard to get it into the market. And the fact that you guys have gone and done this is just incredible. And I'm really, really happy for Gorilla. And I'm really happy for you guys as well.
Everything
Thank
took a
you.
little bit longer than maybe he
Would
would
have,
like to have it,
yeah, well,
but yeah, as I say now, it is just because we changed everything in our whole ordering and packaging style and everything,
wow.
and it took a lot of time for us to find the right manufacturers for it. We now have divided it up into three manufacturers, one doing the discs, one doing the packaging, one doing the whole assembly and everything. So yeah, this is something that took a lot of time, and sometimes he's very, you know,
Impatient. Mm,
yeah.
yes.
And yeah, this was the reason because he quit the contract number two the second time because it was not fast enough for him.
And you do know that's part of his nature, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with
everything.
you. Yeah, it's
No,
just,
everything is cool. I even
yeah,
like
absolutely.
I was pretty sorry because one time I wrote him an angry message because I
Yeah.
was so stressed out, and like this message was like the one message too much, and then he was silent for 4 weeks, and we were as
Oh,
well.
yes.
And all of a sudden, like there was like the second contract
Normally,
cancellation.
Nick always was in contact with him and wrote with him because they both understand very well in films, like they can speak over filming for hours. And then after 4 or 5 weeks, no contact between them, then I wrote to him once after he quit the contract the second time. And then only we had the the contact for all of a sudden, you know. Then
oh,
he
Yeah,
just wrote me, but then everything sorted out very
I
fast.
was,
And
and I was very sorry actually because it
yeah,
was
yeah,
just like I was in a shit mood for like 2 weeks, and like Chris is Guerrilla was like maybe at the wrong place at the right time, and like he just walked straight into
oh,
my anger,
yeah.
sadly.
Everything went
But
wrong at
like
these days, and the days
yeah,
before were shit. And you know,
and
he, it
but
was not him only.
yeah,
oh,
but like but we Chris and I talked, and I and it's my honest opinion,
yeah,
if like a movie or a piece of art like has a certain value, which Darius has, of course,
yeah,
people like get attached to it, and they get like they might react emotional. I mean, in case of Chris, he was director, of course, he is very attached to his baby,
yeah,
but also like after all the time Thomas and I spent into getting Darius made, of course, we were getting attached as well.
yes,
So and then all of a sudden, the people are clashing together. But still, it only shows how impactful like this
yeah,
film is, because I wouldn't have cared for it if I didn't like the movie. I would
yeah.
have
If
You
it's a
chuck it out.
release, like we can,
Yeah,
yeah,
get rid of it. Yeah, yeah, no. That's not good. That's terrible. But seriously, I know he's a very impatient person, but he's also got to understand what you guys are doing is takes time. It's not just it's not a shit movie that you don't want to just you just get it done and that's it. You guys are intricately doing this in
yeah,
a
and maybe
masterful
he was
way.
used, yeah, he
Yeah,
was used to it from the American distributor. They also have a release, everything fine, it's great, but if he wants to have this kind of release again in Europe, we could have done it. We could have finished it since last October, no problem.
yeah,
But we wanted something special, and
yes,
this took
mm,
time. And this, yeah, it's difficult for somebody who isn't into the other side, the production side of the whole thing, to understand,
yes,
mm,
yeah,
because it doesn't mean just ordering something you want that you get it what you want, and sometimes it takes 2 or 3 samples. Yes, but
Yeah.
now everything is like we wanted. And when he saw the cover artworks and the release pictures and everything, he was totally
Yeah, on
excited.
board. Yeah, and they're great,
And
by the way. I've seen little
then
snippets, and they're great. They are just phenomenal. You guys are phenomenal. But he's definitely. You guys are really going to get on really well. Well, I don't really have much more to ask, except maybe.
should I ask Guerrilla for more questions now? Yeah.
No, I've got my own. He'll throw his ones away. But in terms of the benefactress, are you guys going to be releasing that? Are you going to be distributing the benefactress? Have you watched the benefactress?
I will watch tomorrow.
Not yet.
I promised Chris to like focus on the film, not watch it on my cell phone, of course.
Yes.
And tomorrow I've
not
got
cell
time.
phone.
So I said, Chris, I will be give me 3 to 4 days.
Okay.
And then I will like open up a bottle of wine and then enjoy, if you want to call it enjoy.
Yeah.
The benefactress. Have you seen it?
We've checked out a few scenes, but only a few scenes.
It's a masterpiece.
It's we after seeing a few scenes, we already said, oh well, yes, this is even more fucked up than.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, and it's brilliant. From a female point of view, I don't know if I should be feeling this, but I'm okay with it. Yeah.
The beginning is for the female point of view still okay, I think, but then it
starts getting a bit bonkers. But anyway, that's so I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys are going to do with that in the future. Of course, once it's finished. And Nick, you go and watch that tomorrow. I will watch Martyrs today. So there's
yes. That's the deal, though.
That's the deal. But just be prepared. Be prepared. That's all I'm saying.
And don't watch the remake. Watch the original. The remake is completely bullshit.
Yeah, not the American.
Not the American version.
Yeah, idiots.
No, definitely. The French one is. This is
Yep,
absolutely
definitely
masterpiece.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, guys, hey, I'm sorry this is very quick, but I'm on Zoom and it's going to kick us off in 2 minutes. Because
then I can jump in because I just made a subscription for it 2 days ago.
Oh, did you? Yeah, well, I used to use Skype, which is really, really good, but it's discontinued now. So
they have it integrated in Teams. And
it's just shit. It is basically. Oh well, okay, guys. Well, we might have a chat in the future after everything's all done and dusted, and and we'll see how we're going. But it was interesting. I'm so sorry we got mucked up with Travis's one, but I'm so glad you were able to come on. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all good.
For having us, for the invitation. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, guys. Lovely to meet you.
Great honor.
Yeah, no,
yes,
looking forward to what you guys have coming up. So, because it's going to be a wild one. And so thank you, Ultra Visual Films, for coming on and having a little chat with us. So we'll catch you another time, hey? And take care over there in Germany. Is it cold? Is it summer or is it winter over there?
It's starting to get warmer. Last week we already had over 30 degrees Celsius, 31 on one day.
Wow.
But this week now it was getting over the weekend it was getting colder again, back to 15.
Wow.
Let's hope it will get better, but it's starting to get summer, yes.
Oh, cool. That's good to know. All right. You take care now. Yeah.
We are not in the same
It's
lucky
freezing here.
position as you.
Yeah, I know. All the way down by Antarctica. Anyway. All right, guys. I'll catch you later. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Take care now.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.